Tonight, before you fall asleep, notice what you do, not what you think about, not your phone, what your body does. It goes somewhere, the same place it always goes. You didn't decide it. You didn't learn it. It just happened sometime, years ago, and now it's just where you go, every night, without asking. And here's the thing about that. When you're asleep, there's no version of yourself you're managing, no tone you're calibrating, no impression you're trying to leave. It's just you, which means it says something real. Let's talk about what it says. You've been in a conversation before where something shifted. Nobody said anything different. The words were fine, but something in the room changed, in the energy, in the air, and you felt it before you could name it. You looked around. No one else seemed to notice, but you did. You always do. That's what it's like to be a fetal sleeper, curled up, knees drawn in, one hand under the pillow. You carry this thing, this antenna that picks up what other people miss. It's a gift, and it costs you, because you don't just read the room, you absorb it, you take it home, you lie awake with it. There was probably a time, maybe when you were younger, maybe not that long ago, when you gave too much of that sensitivity away, when you let yourself feel everything on behalf of everyone, and forgot to ask what you actually needed. The curl isn't fear. It never was. It's what happened when you learned that not everyone can handle what you carry. So you got careful about who gets close. That was smart. Keep doing it. You've been stuck in a conversation you didn't plan to stay in, and somehow it became one of the best ones you've had in months, with someone you just met at a dinner or a work thing, or waiting somewhere you didn't want to be, and they walked away thinking, I don't know how that happened. I never talk like that. But you do this all the time. Log sleepers, straight on their side, body settled, arms down. They move through people the way water moves. No resistance, no performance, just presence. You don't walk into rooms trying to make something happen. You just show up, and somehow things happen anyway. There's a version of this that's beautiful, and there's a version that's been taken advantage of. You've sat across from someone and felt, slowly, something sour. That the thing you thought was mutual, the ease, the openness, was actually just yours, and they were collecting it. You gave it before they earned it. Not because you're naive, because you genuinely believe people are worth it until proven otherwise. That's not a flaw to fix. That's a quality to protect. There's been a decision you sat with for a long time. You read everything, asked the people whose opinions you trusted, turned it over from every angle. And then one day, quietly, without announcement, you just knew. And after that, nothing anyone said could move you. People who've tried know. Yearner sleepers reach forward even in rest, arms out like they're still chasing the next thing. And that's real. You are always chasing something. An idea, a better version of what exists, the question underneath the question. You've been in conversations where everyone else was satisfied with the surface, and you were already 3 questions deeper, alone. But the other side of that openness is this. You're suspicious of people who seem too simple, too easy. You want depth, and when someone can't give it, you lose interest faster than you'd like to admit. There have been people who liked you, really liked you, and you couldn't feel it because you were already somewhere else, still reaching. Sometimes the thing you're looking for is in the room you already left. You said you'd do something, and then you did it. Not because anyone was watching, not because you'd be in trouble if you didn't, just because you said you would. That's rarer than it sounds. Soldier sleepers, flat on the back, arms still, body like it's already decided. They carry a standard they never announced. You didn't tell anyone what it was. You just live by it, every day. And when someone breaks it, when they're careless with their word or sloppy with what matters, you notice. You don't make a scene, you just file it. There's a version of you that people find hard to read. Not cold, just still. You don't perform warmth, which means when you do show it, it means something. People who know you know that. But there are people who stop trying to get close because the door looked closed, and you didn't notice until later, if you noticed at all. You don't have to announce yourself. You just have to leave the door open a little longer than feels necessary. Someone called you late when they didn't know who else to call, and you picked up. You didn't ask if it was a good time. It wasn't, but that didn't cross your mind. You just listened for as long as they needed. And 3 weeks later, you asked how they were doing, not because you were being polite, because you remembered, because you'd been thinking about it. They didn't know what to do with that. People aren't used to being held like that. Starfish sleepers take up space in every direction, arms out, legs out, open to everything. And awake, you do the same thing. You make room for whoever needs it. The problem isn't the giving. The problem is that you give automatically, before you've checked whether you have it to give, before you've asked yourself what you need. There have been seasons where you were running on nothing and still showing up for everyone, and nobody knew because you didn't tell them. Here's what I want you to take from this. Not a label, not a box, just this. Your body knows something about you that your daytime self is too busy to say. The way you hold yourself when no one's watching, when the performance is over and the lights are out, that's not random. It's the part of you that never learned to lie. Pay attention to it. Most of us are walking around with a story about who we are, and then there's who we actually are. And the gap between those two things is where everything important is hiding. Your sleep position is one small window into that gap. Tell me which one you are in the comments, and tell me if it was accurate, especially the part that stung a little. Those are always the ones worth sitting with. Next video, we're talking about what your texting habits say about how you handle anxiety. The ones who need to respond immediately, the ones who go quiet. What's actually happening underneath? You'll know within 30 seconds if it's about you.